Imagine walking into your home and feeling an immediate sense of calm wash over you. The surfaces are clear, the air feels open, and every object has a purpose or sparks joy. Your mind mirrors this clarity, free from the weight of clutter, allowing you to focus, create, and simply be. Now contrast this with the reality you might face: a home overflowing with stuff, clothes you don't wear, gadgets you rarely use, papers you've forgotten the purpose of. Your space feels chaotic. Your schedule is packed with distractions, and your mind is clouded with stress, financial worries, and a vague sense of disconnection. You're not alone. In our consumer-driven world, the accumulation of possessions, commitments, and pressures has left so many of us overwhelmed, trapped in cluttered homes and cluttered minds, yearning for clarity and purpose. But what if you could transform your home into a sanctuary of simplicity and focus, not by adding more, but by embracing less? Japanese minimalists have mastered this art, using 8 practical tips rooted in philosophies like Danshari, Wabi-Sabi, and Kaizen to organize their homes for maximum clarity. These tips aren't about achieving a sterile, magazine-perfect space. They're about curating a home that supports your well-being, aligns with your values, and fosters a life of intention and joy. Let's explore how these practices can declutter your home, clear your mind, and create a life that's simpler, more meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Japanese minimalism is a philosophy that celebrates simplicity as a path to clarity and purpose, transforming not just your physical space, but your entire way of living. At its heart is the art of purposeful empty space, seen in traditional Japanese homes where sparse furnishings and open areas create a sense of calm and possibility. Teaches that empty space isn't a void to be filled. It's a canvas that enhances the beauty and function of what remains. Danshari, with its principles of refusing, discarding, and separating, provides a framework for letting go of possessions and attachments that clutter your home and mind. Wabi-Sabi, the embrace of imperfection and transience, finds beauty in the worn and weathered. A chipped mug, a faded rug, reducing the urge to accumulate flawless things. Kaizen, the practice of small, continuous improvements, ensures these changes are sustainable, building habits through tiny, manageable steps. Ikigai, the pursuit of purpose, aligns your home with what brings joy and meaning. While Motenai, the respect for resources, encourages you to value and repurpose what you have, minimizing waste. In a world that pushes you to buy more, own more, and be more, these 8 tips are a quiet revolution, asking, what if clarity begins at home? What if organizing your space unlocks a life of focus, peace, and joy? Let's ground this in your reality. You're likely familiar with the chaos of a cluttered home. Your closets are stuffed with clothes you haven't worn in years. Your kitchen counters are buried under appliances and papers, and your shelves groan with books, decorations, and just-in-case items. This physical clutter spills into your life. Your schedule is packed with work, errands, and social obligations, leaving little time for rest or creativity. Your digital devices are no better, with notifications piling up and social media feeds sparking comparison or distraction. Your mind is the most cluttered space of all, heavy with stress about finances, pressure to keep up with trends, and a sense that you're not living the life you were meant to. You might try to tame this chaos with storage solutions, new furniture, or productivity apps, only to find they add to the clutter, leaving you more overwhelmed and disconnected. The result is a home that feels like a burden, a life that feels scattered, and a heart that longs for clarity. The 8 Japanese minimalist tips offer a way out, not by adding more, but by simplifying your home with intention, creating a space that nurtures your focus, well-being, and purpose. Here are the 8 tips, each rooted in Japanese wisdom and designed to organize your home for maximum clarity. The first tip is to create Ma by embracing empty space. Choose one surface, a counter, a shelf, and clear it completely. Then add back just 1 or 2 items you love, like a plant or a cherished book. The empty space, inspired by Ma, calms your mind, enhances focus, and highlights the beauty of what remains. The second tip is to practice danshari by curating your possessions with intention. Start with one area, like your wardrobe, and apply danshari's 3 steps. Refuse items that don't suit your current life, discard those that are unused or irrelevant, and separate emotionally from pieces tied to guilt or someday. Donate or recycle with gratitude, freeing your space and heart. The third tip is to embrace Wabi-Sabi by cherishing imperfect objects. Keep a scratched table or a faded scarf because it holds memories, reducing the urge to buy perfect replacements and fostering gratitude for what you have. The fourth tip is to prioritize quality over quantity, inspired by Motainai's respect for resources. When you need something new, a chair, a kitchen tool, invest in one durable, timeless piece instead of multiple cheap ones, saving money, reducing clutter, and creating a home that feels intentional. The fifth tip is to use Kaizen to declutter gradually. Spend 5 minutes daily tidying one small area, a drawer, a shelf, or sorting one category, like papers, building a clutter-free home without overwhelm, ensuring sustainable progress. The sixth tip is to align your home with Ikigai by keeping objects that support your purpose. If creativity brings you joy, curate a corner for art supplies. If connection is your purpose, create a welcoming space for gatherings, refusing items that don't serve these goals. The seventh tip is to organize mindfully, inspired by Zen principles. Assign a place for every item, returning it after use, and maintain clear surfaces, fostering a sense of order that calms your mind and sharpens focus. The eighth tip is to cultivate gratitude for your home, drawing on Wabi-Sabi. Each day, note one imperfect thing you're thankful for: a creaky chair, a worn rug, shifting your focus from clutter to abundance, enhancing clarity and joy. The benefits of these tips are transformative, rippling across every facet of your life. Physically, a clutter-free home is easier to maintain, fewer things to clean, organize, or replace. creating a sanctuary that supports rest and well-being. Financially, curating your possessions and prioritizing quality saves money, reducing expenses on replacements and impulse buys, easing financial anxiety and building savings, as Motenai encourages. Mentally, a simplified home boosts focus and reduces stress. Studies show that a clutter-free environment lowers cortisol levels and improves cognitive performance, as your brain isn't overwhelmed by visual noise, enhancing clarity and decision-making. Emotionally, these tips foster gratitude and contentment. When you cherish a worn book or a simple space for its story, you find joy in the present, not in what you lack. Spiritually, they align with Ikigai, helping you create a home that supports your purpose, creativity, connection, reflection, without the burden of excess. Environmentally, living with less supports sustainability by reducing waste and consumption, honoring the Earth's resources. These benefits weave together, creating a life that's clear, purposeful, and deeply fulfilling. Contrast this with the habits many of us fall into. Mindless accumulation, buying things on impulse, keeping items just in case, hoarding to feel secure, creates a home of chaos. Your spaces become storage units for stuff you don't love, demanding time, money, and energy to maintain, cluttering your mind with stress. Consumerism fuels this cycle, promising happiness through more decor, more gadgets, more storage, yet delivers only fleeting satisfaction. Social media amplifies the pressure, showcasing perfect homes that spark envy or inadequacy, urging you to buy to keep up. Your schedule fills with tasks to manage this clutter: cleaning, organizing, shopping, leaving no time for what matters. The result is a home that feels like a burden, a mind clouded with overwhelm, and a heart disconnected from purpose. The 8 Japanese minimalist tips break this cycle by empowering you to curate your home with intention, refuse excess, and align your space with your values, creating clarity and joy. Let's paint a picture of these tips in your life. Imagine walking into your kitchen, where a clear counter holds just a kettle and a bowl of fruit, the empty space calming your mind thanks to Ma. Your wardrobe is curated to a few versatile, beloved pieces, some with patches that tell a story, organized mindfully with a place for each item, guided by Danshari and Zen. Your living room has a worn wooden chair and a single plant, cherished for their imperfections, reflecting Wabi-Sabi's beauty. You've refused trendy decor, saving money with Motenai, and invested in one quality lamp that lights your reading nook, your Ikigai. Each day, you tidy one small area for 5 minutes, a shelf, a drawer, building a clutter-free home with Kaizen. Your evenings are spent in a welcoming space, hosting a friend for tea or sketching, free from clutter's weight. You note gratitude for one imperfect thing: a creaky floorboard, a faded photo, feeling a surge of joy. Your home is a sanctuary, your mind clear, and your heart full as you live with intention and clarity. To bring these tips into your life, start with one or two and build from there. For Ma, clear one surface today, your kitchen counter, perhaps, and keep just a kettle and a bowl, noticing how the empty space fosters calm. For Danshari, declutter one area, like your bookshelf. Refuse books you won't reread, discard those that are irrelevant, and separate from items tied to guilt, donating them with thanks. For Wabi-Sabi, choose one imperfect item, a chipped mug, a faded scarf, and reflect on why you love it, keeping it as a reminder of beauty in flaws. For quality over quantity, next time you shop, choose one durable item, like a sturdy pan, over cheaper alternatives aligning with Motenai. For Kaizen, spend 5 minutes daily tidying one small area, a drawer, a corner, building habits sustainably. For Ikigai, curate one space to support your purpose. If writing brings joy, create a clear desk with just a notebook and pen, refusing clutter that distracts. For mindful organization, assign a place for one category of items, keys, shoes, and return them after use, fostering order. For gratitude, note one imperfect thing you're thankful for today, a worn rug, a quiet moment, shifting to abundance. These steps, rooted in Japanese wisdom, are simple yet powerful, building a clutter-free home step by step. Challenges will arise, and that's okay. You might feel attached to possessions, worried that letting go means losing memories or identity. Start with low-stakes items, old papers, unused gadgets, and build confidence, using Danshari's framework to separate emotionally. Social pressure to keep a perfect home can be strong. Remind yourself that Wabi-Sabi values authenticity, not perfection, and curate your social media to reflect simplicity, not excess. Financial constraints might make quality purchases feel out of reach. Focus on free or low-cost wins, cherishing what you own, borrowing from libraries, enjoying nature, aligned with Motenai. Time scarcity can make decluttering feel daunting. Use Kaizen's micro actions, 1 minute of tidying, one item donated, to fit them into busy days. If mental clutter persists, pair these tips with mindfulness, like a deep breath before letting go of an item, to calm your mind. Be patient. Organizing your home is a journey, and every intentional choice is a step toward clarity. These tips weave beautifully with other Japanese philosophies. Wabi-Sabi fosters gratitude for imperfect objects, easing the pressure to buy flawless things. Danshari empowers you to let go of clutter and attachments, freeing your home and mind. Motenai encourages respect for what you have, reducing waste and aligning with sustainability. Ikigai aligns your home with purpose, prioritizing spaces that bring joy. Kaizen ensures lasting change through small, consistent actions. Ma creates space in your home for clarity and reflection. Zen mindfulness enhances your organization by encouraging presence in each action, like placing an item thoughtfully. Together, they create a holistic approach to living, one that values simplicity, presence, and meaning over excess or distraction. Let's deepen this with more practices. Try a Ma morning. For 1 week, start your day by clearing one surface, your bedside table perhaps, and keeping just one item, like a lamp, noticing how it sets a calm tone. Another practice is a clutter journal. Each evening, write down one item or area you decluttered and how it felt, reinforcing Danshari's release. To cultivate Wabi-Sabi, create a memory nook with a few imperfect items, a cracked vase, a faded photo that tell your story, reminding you of beauty in flaws. For Kaizen, set a daily clarity minute to tidy one item or area, building habits effortlessly. For Ikigai, make a purpose list of 5 spaces that support your joy, reading, cooking, meditating, and curate one this week, like a cozy reading corner, prioritizing clarity. For Ma, create a calm zone in your home, a bare nook with a cushion for reflection, enhancing focus. For gratitude, try a Wabi-Sabi walk, noticing one imperfect thing in your home daily, a creaky door, a worn mat, and reflecting on its beauty. These exercises, flexible and personal, make organization a sustainable part of your life. Let's also explore how these tips transform your relationships. A cluttered home can strain connections, making you stressed or distracted. By organizing with intention, you create space for presence. Imagine hosting a friend in a decluttered living room with a single candle on a bare table. The simplicity fostering intimacy, thanks to Ma. Or inviting family to a cozy, curated space for a game night aligned with Ikigai, deepening bonds. Letting go of clutter, guided by Danshari, frees emotional energy for connection. Gratitude for your home's imperfections, rooted in Wabi-Sabi, helps you appreciate imperfect relationships, loving people for their quirks. By organizing your home, you make space for vulnerability, laughter, and love, enriching your life and others. Let's ground this in a story. Meet Aiko, a 36-year-old teacher overwhelmed by clutter. Her apartment was a chaos of clothes, books, and unused decor, mirroring her cluttered mind. Her days were packed with grading, errands, and social events, leaving her stressed and disconnected. One day, a colleague shared a book on Japanese minimalism, introducing Aiko to Ma and Wabi-Sabi. She started small, clearing her kitchen counter to hold just a kettle and a plant, the empty space calming her, inspired by Ma. She practiced Danshari, refusing trendy clothes, discarding unused items, and separating from guilt, donating with thanks. She embraced Wabi-Sabi, keeping a chipped mug from her mom, and used Kaizen, tidying 5 minutes daily. She curated a writing nook, her Ikigai, with just a desk and notebook, refusing clutter. She organized mindfully, assigning a place for each item, and noted gratitude for one imperfect thing daily, a creaky chair, a faded photo, feeling joy. Over months, Aiko's home became a sanctuary, her mind clear, her relationships richer. These tips didn't erase her challenges, but they transformed her home, making it a haven of clarity and purpose. As you embrace these tips, envision the life you're crafting, a home where every object has meaning, where empty spaces invite clarity and peace, a schedule with room for purpose and rest. A mind free of clutter, alive with focus and joy. The Japanese minimalist way isn't about a perfect home. It's about a purposeful one, supporting your well-being and values. It's a rebellion against the chaos of excess, a reclaiming of your space, your focus, your soul. You don't need more stuff, more storage, or more perfection. You need only to organize with intention and let clarity shine. So, begin today. Right now, choose one tip. Clear a surface. Declutter a drawer. Note a gratitude. And take one step. Carry this question forward. What can I simplify to create clarity today? Ask it when you tidy, plan, or reflect. Trust that each intentional choice is a step toward a clutter-free home, a brick in the foundation of a simpler, more meaningful life. You're not just organizing, you're crafting a life of peace, purpose, and joy. Welcome to the Japanese minimalist way. Minimalist way. Minimalist way. Minimalist